Paris, the city of love, lights, and legendary landmarks. But if you've only got 24 hours, don't worry, I've got you covered. In this guide, we'll explore the must-see spots that make Paris unforgettable, from iconic monuments to charming hidden gems. Whether it's your first time or a quick stopover, we'll break it down by neighborhood for easy exploration. From strolling along the Seine River to discovering historic sites like Notre Dame, the Louvre, and the Eiffel Tower, this fast-paced itinerary ensures you soak in the essence of Paris. Plus, stick around till the end for a custom map featuring all locations, food spots, and local favorites. Ready to experience Paris in a day? Quintessential Paris activities. The crisp morning air carried the scent of freshly baked baguettes as Emma made her way to the Seine River. Walking along its historic banks, she admired the timeless beauty of Notre Dame, its towering Gothic spires standing tall despite the scars of the 2019 fire. Couples strolled hand in hand, street musicians filled the air with the soft melody of an accordion, and painters captured the city's essence on their canvases. Determined to see more, she boarded a Seine River cruise at Pont Neuf, the oldest bridge in Paris, built in 1607. As the boat glided past the Musée d'Orsay, the Louvre, and the shimmering Eiffel Tower, she felt like she was inside a living postcard. The city's landmarks, illuminated by the golden morning sun, felt even more enchanting from the water. As the cruise ended near Île de la Cité, Emma knew she had just experienced Paris in its purest form: romantic, historic, and effortlessly beautiful. Exploring the heart of Paris, Arrondissements 1-4. Emma's next stop was the Louvre Museum, home to over 35,000 works of art. As she stepped inside the Grand Palais du Louvre, she felt a surge of excitement. Dodging the eager crowds, she finally stood before the Mona Lisa, her enigmatic smile smaller than expected yet just as mesmerizing. Stepping outside, she wandered through the Jardin des Tuileries, where sculpted fountains shimmered under the midday sun. The scent of blooming flowers mixed with the buttery aroma of freshly baked croissants from a nearby cafe. She grabbed one and strolled toward the Palais Royal, admiring the black and white striped Colonnes de Buron, a modern contrast to the city's historic charm. Curious about the city's hidden gems, she discovered the passages couverts, enchanting 19th century covered walkways filled with quaint bookstores and antique shops. As she walked through Galerie Vivienne, she realized that Paris wasn't just about grand monuments. It was about the small, magical moments hidden in every corner. Discovering Parisian charm, Arrondissements 5-7. Eager to soak in more of Paris, Emma wandered into the Latin Quarter, a district rich with history and vibrant energy. Her first stop was the legendary Shakespeare and Company, the world-famous English bookstore founded in 1951. Inside, the scent of aged paper and ink surrounded her as she traced her fingers along the spines of well-worn novels. Just a short walk away, the Pantheon stood in all its neoclassical glory. The final resting place of Voltaire, Marie Curie, and Victor Hugo, it felt like stepping into a shrine of brilliance. Inside, the vast dome and intricate frescoes left her in awe. The afternoon led her to the Luxembourg Gardens, where locals lounged by the grand fountains, reading or chatting under the shade of chestnut trees. The stunning Luxembourg Palace, standing regal in the distance, added to the scenery. As sunset neared, she approached the Eiffel Tower. Seeing it from Trocadero just as the golden lights flickered on at 7 p.m., she felt the full magic of Paris sink in. The iconic landmarks of Paris, Arrondissements 8-9. As evening set in, Emma made her way to the Arc de Triomphe, standing tall at the heart of the bustling place Charles de Gaulle. Commissioned by Napoleon Bonaparte in 1806, the massive monument honored those who fought for France. She climbed the 284 steps to the top, catching her breath as she reached the summit. The view was mesmerizing. The Champs-Élysées, glowing under golden streetlights, stretched endlessly, leading toward the illuminated Louvre on one end and the twinkling Eiffel Tower on the other. Descending back to street level, she strolled down the Champs-Élysées, a boulevard lined with luxury boutiques, cafes, and theaters. Though tempting, she resisted the urge to shop, instead stopping for a famous macaron from Louvre, its delicate sweetness melting in her mouth. Further ahead, she reached Place de la Concorde, a historic square where King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette met their fate during the French Revolution. At its center stood the Luxor obelisk, a 3,300-year-old Egyptian monument gifted to France in 1833. Ending her journey at the Palais Garnier, the stunning opera house that inspired the Phantom of the Opera, she marveled at its opulent chandeliers, marble staircases, and golden frescoes. Paris wasn't just a city, it was a living masterpiece, a place where history and beauty intertwined at every turn. Exploring beyond the center, arrondissements 10 beyond. After experiencing the grandeur of central Paris, Emma craved something more intimate, places where the city's true soul thrived beyond the tourist hubs. She set off toward Canal Saint-Martin, a charming waterway built in 1825, now a favorite gathering spot for locals. Sitting by the edge, she watched Parisians sip espresso, sketch in notebooks, and share laughter over evening drinks. The serenity of the canal was a stark contrast to the bustling avenues she had explored earlier. Her next destination was Montmartre, the former home of Picasso, Van Gogh, and Toulouse-Lautrec. Winding through its cobblestone streets, she passed Place du Tertre, where artists painted portraits beneath glowing street lamps. Reaching the peak, the Sacré-Cœur Basilica stood like a guardian over Paris, its domes bathed in the pink hues of sunset. From this vantage point, the entire city stretched before her, rooftops glowing under the last light of the day. Hidden gems, offbeat attractions. With time slipping away, Emma decided to uncover the lesser-known treasures of Paris. Her first stop was Marché aux Puces de Saint-Ouen, one of the largest flea markets in the world, dating back to 1870. She wandered through its labyrinth of antique shops, flipping through vintage postcards, handcrafted jewelry, and rare Parisian artifacts. Each stall told a different story, whispering secrets of the past through time-worn treasures. Next, she visited Atelier des Lumières, a digital art space that transformed the works of Van Gogh, Monet, and Klimt into breathtaking, immersive projections. Inside the dimly lit warehouse, colors danced across the walls, moving in sync with classical symphonies. It was as if she had stepped inside a living painting, where art pulsed with emotion and rhythm. Craving one last moment of tranquility, she found herself at Parc des Buttes Chaumont, a hidden oasis far from the usual crowds. Designed in 1867, the park featured cascading waterfalls, towering cliffs, and a serene lake. Climbing up to the Temple de la Sibylle, she admired one final peaceful view of the city, a farewell gift from Paris itself. As she took a deep breath, Emma realized that it wasn't just the famous landmarks that made Paris unforgettable. It was the unexpected corners, the quiet beauty, and the stories waiting to be discovered. Before heading back, she ventured into the eerie depths of the catacombs of Paris, a hidden world beneath the city where 6 million skeletons rested. As she walked through the dimly lit tunnels, she felt history pressing in from all sides, a reminder that Paris, for all its beauty, had secrets carved into its very bones. With just a few hours left in her 24-hour adventure, Emma knew one thing for certain: Paris wasn't just a city. It was an experience, a story waiting to be lived. As Emma boarded her train, she glanced back at the city that had given her 24 hours of magic. From the grandeur of the Louvre to the hidden charm of Montmartre, every moment felt like a scene from a dream. She had walked the Seine, stood atop Arc de Triomphe, wandered through secret passages, and even ventured into the catacombs. Paris wasn't just a place, it was a feeling, a story, an endless adventure. And though her time was short, the memories would last forever. As the city lights faded behind her, she smiled, knowing she would return. Because in Paris, one day is never enough.